Hello everyone, Paul here from Cliff Richard Radio and welcome back to the channel. Today I've got something really special to share with you. This is the limited edition, US only, Blu-ray release of Cliff in colour. This is one that a lot of Cliff fans and collectors around the world have been waiting for. So I wanted to do a proper detailed unboxing and show you exactly what you get. Before we open it up, let's take a look at the outer packaging first. So straight away you can see the front artwork here. It's really vibrant, very much in keeping with the title Cliff in colour. It's got Cliff and Susan Hampshire, and the setting is from Wonderful Life, and the song that they are doing those actions to is On the Beach. I'll hold the Steve for a moment so you can have a good look. And of course it's released by Indicator. And Cliff in colour, the Technicolor musicals of Cliff Richard 1961 to 1964. And that includes The Young Ones, Summer Holiday, and Wonderful Life. And now I will just show you the spine. That's how it's going to look in your collection. And then, of course, on the back here, we have got the contents of what's going to be on the special features DVD. Now, this is one of the most exciting things that I'm looking forward to, is the actual special releases, because about 95% of them have not been released on DVD or in Blu-ray before. I know New Zealand, we've got the 3 movies in a Blu-ray release, and of course in Australia, but nothing to this extent. So this is really for the collectors among us. And it's worth noting again that this is a US release, which is important for collectors, of course, when it comes to region coding. I'll pause here for a few seconds so you can read everything properly. Of course, it's got Live the Wild Nights and The Way Out Days on the back. And then, of course, it's got the limited edition numbers down there of out of 4,000. This is 1,359. Very excited to be the first to have a copy of this, thanks to Indicator. And like I said before, this is definitely aimed at fans who appreciate Cliff's movies, and of course the special features, and the movies being remastered for Blu-ray release. Right, let's carefully open this up now. I always like to take my time with limited editions, because once the shrink wrap is off, that is it. So slow and careful, it's definitely the way to go. So there we go, that's the plastic off. Really, it feels like a really nice presented release, a nice solid case. And of course good print quality, and of course you see on the other side there of the spine, you see Wonderful, Fresh, Unforgettable, and of course the discs in your 3 separate holders, and of course that there, Cliff in colour, is disc number 4. Alright, let's open it up and take a look inside. Let me get that shrink wrap out of the way now. Let's take a look at this again, because I think it's really cool having this main feature now that the slip is away, and it's just Cliff in on the beach mode with Susan Hampshire in full frame there. So let's have a look at the individual ones now. So this is what we get. So you've got your young ones, of course, first Summer Holiday and Wonderful Life. And this is a little book, and we're going to look at that a little bit more later. Let's look at, of course, the first one, The Young Ones. And this is the movie poster that you see as the cover of this one. The Young Ones, fresh, unforgettable, with Cliff Richard, Robert Morley, Carol Gray, and of course The Shadows. CinemaScope, Technicolor. Let's open it up. Look at that. Of course, in the inside there we see the US name of the film, Wonderful to Be Young. And of course the disc there, The Young Ones. Region A again worth noting, and indicator, and it's a Studio Canal. Let's just lift the disc gently so you can see underneath what it will look like. Of course, always be careful when you're lifting up your discs. Let's pop that back in, and let's have a look at the back. So we've got How Warm-Hearted Family Musical featuring 14 hit tunes. And here is the indicator. Yes, they're limited edition special features that you will see on this disc. Of course, a 4K restoration, which is absolutely exciting. It's the original mono audio. There's audio commentary with director Sidney J. Fuller and filmmaker Paul Lynch and journalist Waylon Wall, and that's from 2002. There's a 2026 release that runs for 14 minutes next, that The Years Have Flown, and focus puller Robin Verdegan talks about his work on The Young Ones. And then, of course, you've got On the Set of The Young Ones in 1961, which is 11 minutes, which is a silent behind-the-scenes footage of the film's production. And then We've Got a Show from 1961, which is 9 minutes, the Super 8 presentation of the film's musical numbers. Then Nothing's Impossible. Again, the Super 8 presentation of 2 of the more film's musical numbers. The original theatrical trailer is in there. Image galleries, promotional and publicity material, and press book, and the new and improved English subtitles for the deaf and hard of hearing. And this is, again, the US premiere on Blu-ray. What's exciting, of course, on this as well is in the studio I've actually got the Super 8 reels of Nothing's Impossible and We've Got a Show. So it is very exciting to actually see them, of course, with having nothing to play them on. After all these years, it's exciting to actually see them. And of course, 1961 and the runtime of 108 minutes. And of course, powerhousefilms.co.uk. Next up is Summer Holiday. From the first kiss in Paris to the last blush in Greece. It's the craziest four-way love affair that ever shook up the folks back home. And again, that's the movie poster for Summer Holiday. Cliff and Laurie Peters. And again, inside here, we've got some more artwork. And again, being really careful when lifting up this disc. I'll pop it down on the table. And there you go. You see Cliff hanging off the back of a bus depot. It's a nice little poster underneath your Blu-ray disc. Again, keeping with the theme from indicator there. And have a look at the back. The Young Ones have gone abroad. Again, you get your 4K restoration, your original mono audio, audio commentary with P.D. Yates and journalist Jonathan Southcott from 2002, a British Phenomenon from 2026, something new as well to this Blu-ray set. Composer and author Neil Brand examines Cliff Richard and the Shadows' rise to fame in the begrudgingly period of the swinging 60s and how the band compares to other artists of the time. Let's bring that in closer so you can get another good look at that. And of course, Appreciation by Bob Stanley from 2019. Again, not released before. And Cliff drives the London bus. You may have seen that briefly of Cliff learning how to drive the London bus. First Night to Remember, which is a 2-minute newsreel footage of the West End opening night in London. And the Super 8 version of the movie, which is 80 minutes, which is cut down home cinema presentation of the film. Of course, again, we've got that one here in the studio on Super 8. And the Super 8 presentation compiling of 3 musical numbers from the film. And Cliff Sings, which is 8 minutes long. Of course, we get our original theatrical trailer again, image gallery, new and improved subtitles again, and a US premiere on Blu-ray. And of course, 1963 release, and 108 minutes. And the last disc is Wonderful Life. Look at that there. Cliff Richard, Walter Slezak, Susan Hampshire, and of course the Shadows there. And again, we get a picture of Cliff and Susan Hampshire dancing to On the Beach and Wonderful Life. Again, it's the movie poster. And a Technicolor CinemaScope. And open up, and what do we notice about this one? This has got the US poster. Of course, Wonderful Life was renamed in America because of the movie It's a Wonderful Life. To be different, it's called Swingers Paradise. Live the Wild Nights and the Way Out Days. Again, Wonderful Life. And we'll carefully remove that so you can have a look at that photo there again of Cliff and Susan Hampshire doing On the Beach. Let's put that disc back in there. And the back, Cliff's back, funny enough, on the back. He's singing, living, dancing, and singing 12-hit tunes. Again, we get the 4K restoration, the original mono audio commentary, and of course, Cat in the Canaries 2026 15-minute feature, which focuses on Paula Robin Verdagen again as he recalls the production of Wonderful Life. Again from 2026, running 22 minutes long, is Local and Global Heresies, which is a visual essay by filmmaker and film historian Daniel Kramer, examining the career and directing style of Sidney J. Furie. And this is Rhythm and Greens, 1964, 31 minutes, and that's the short film retracing the history of Britain, of course, and the Shadows are in it. You may have seen that one. Cliff Meets New Lady, 1963. So that's Cliff and his leading lady, Susan Hampshire, meet in front of the British press. Wonderful First Night, which is footage of the opening night in Leicester Square in London. You've got your original theatrical trailer, image gallery, the new and improved subtitles, and again a US premiere on Blu-ray. And that's what it looks like on the spine. Now this is exciting. I'll go through this slowly so you can pause the video if you want to look a little bit closer. This is a special book that comes with the set. And opening it up, you've got your Cliff in colour, the Technicolor musicals of Cliff Richard, 1961 and 1964. Contents, your young ones, Summer Holiday, Wonderful Life, and again some special other parts in the booklet here. This is exactly the sort of thing that us collectors appreciate, not just the content but the presentation as well. Look at that, Carol Gray. Just going to flip over a few pages here. Summer Holiday and Wonderful Life, of course, the cast and their roles on the left and the crew on the right. And here is The Real Life of Cliff Richard by Steve O'Brien. Just a little bit about Cliff and films. Stills, of course, there from the young ones and Summer Holiday. And of course, the next part is the Cliff Richard story, part 1, and it all begins with a 5-pound guitar. And that's the release of Summer Holiday in 1963. We'll just flip through this because it is quite a number of pages, as you see there. I think we've got 98 pages in all, including the front and the back. It's a nice picture of there and Cliff from 1959. More time about Cliff in America. Of course, this is again worth noting that it's a US release. So there's a history of Cliff in America. There we go. It's in New York during his 1960 US tour. For those of you that went, some memories there. Part 2. Cliff keeps Cupid on the inside. Another there, that was, if we go back, Espresso Bongo and Serious Charge were his first ones there. Of course, Cliff at the London Palladium, that's a very famous picture now, coming out of his dressing room. Cliff again in America in 1962. See the shadows there. Hank, Tony, Cliff, Jet, and Bruce Welch in 1960. There you go, that's a nice little spread there, 2-page spread, including the another movie poster. As you can see, they've really put a lot of time and effort into this release. A lot more than that's ever been done before. Summer Holiday National Competition. Eiffel Tower. The Road to Athens. And there's the cast of Rhythm and Greens from 1964. And a little synopsis of it there from Jeff in 2026. And then here you've got about the presentations and the special thanks, acknowledgements, and the indicator credits. And again down the bottom, limited edition of 4,000, released in January 2026. That's the back of the booklet. So there you have it. You've got your 3 discs there. Your absolutely amazing done with a lot of care, and a lot of work's been put into this box. The slip as well there. Look at that. That's for any Cliff collection, definitely. Again, it's a US release, but if you live outside of the US, definitely worth the time and effort in trying to grab yourself a copy. Again, there's only 4,000 copies available. That's everything included in the limited US edition of Cliff in Color. As both a Cliff collector and someone who runs Cliff Richard Radio, I have to say that it is a fantastic release. It's well presented and feels special, and it's absolutely something fans will be proud to have on their shelf, especially given that it is a US only edition. If you're outside the US and you manage to get hold of this, you've done very well indeed. If you've enjoyed this unboxing, please give the video a like, and don't forget to subscribe to our Cliff Richard Radio YouTube channel for more Cliff related content as it comes in. And of course, you can listen to Cliff Richard Radio 24/7 for nothing but Cliff music. Links are in the description below. Let me know in the comments if you've picked this one up and what you think of Cliff in Color. And of course, I will be giving you my review and rundown later on in the week on Cliff Richard Radio, cliffrichardradio.com. And of course, we'll do a little review here on YouTube as well. So make sure, again, you like and share this around to get the word out there that this release is out, and definitely one to watch out for, and get your hands on a copy of it today. So thanks for watching, and I will see you the next time. Bye for now.